or insects were harmed in the making of this program, and that none of the training you're about to see be attempted unless under expert supervision.
8 Brainees, 1 challenge. To use complex mass of 100 billion cells we call brain for chance to win Brain-Jitsu black brain belt. This is Brain-Jitsu. Born in Lancashire, trained in Japan, with mind as sharp as samurai sword. He is Brain Master. He is the sensei.
Konnichiwa, and welcome to Brain-Jitsu. Mental training specially designed to boost brain power and focus. My trainees, or Brainees, have been following a basic programme of training in the comfort of their own home. A brain-boosting routine of exercise, sleep, and enough fruit and veg to stock a greengrocer's.
I did all the training that I could. I did it almost every single day, and I feel really confident and really excited.
I feel sort of prepared but a little bit nervous. I don't know if I've trained enough.
If I actually get through to enter the dojo, it'll be quite fun.
I hope I win.
Now my Brainees must put their training into practice by testing a part of the brain we use every day.
Level 1. Yellow vault.
Take a look at this fish tank. How many white fish are there? Did you get 2?
Congratulations! You've just used your occipital lobes. This area, the seeing part of our brain, allows us to recognise and separate images from each other.
The 7 Brainees who use their occipital lobes the best will be allowed to enter my Brain-Jitsu dojo, where their training will continue.
The one who fails will be left outside. Oh, feel the burn.
Enter the dojo!
Our Brainees must answer 4 questions by studying the different faces on the board in front of them. Get the questions right and they'll be left with a 4-digit code, which they must then use to unlock a piece of brain and secure their place in the dojo. But with only 7 pieces of brain and 8 Brainees, one of either Shauna, Aihem, Laura, Luke, Lucy, Duncan, Sarah or Kirie will be left outside and eliminated. You could hear a grain of rice drop as the 4 questions are revealed. How many blue faces are there? How many faces have freckles? How many yellow smiley faces are there without freckles? How many faces have 2 ears? The answer our Brainees are looking for is 2667. Sarah reckons she's cracked the code already, but has she jumped too soon? Oh, it looks like it. Next up are Lucy and Shauna. Have they got the right combination? Faster than you can say deep-fried dumplings, Aihem unlocks a piece of brain. While the rest of our Brainees have all had to go back to the noodle bar. Don't forget the code our Brainees are searching for is 2667. As there are 2 blue faces, 6 faces with freckles, 6 yellow faces without freckles, and 7 faces with 2 ears. Duncan is next to crack the combination along with Lucy. With 3 more Brainees also unlocking a piece of brain, that just leaves Sarah and Laura to battle it out for the last place in the dojo. Sarah's up first, but she's still not found that code. Don't panic, Sarah. Work those occipital lobes. You won't open it with your bare hands, Laura. You need the code. And it's Sarah who finally pops open that lock, which means she's in and Laura is out. So, while 7 have proved themselves worthy of entering the dojo and continuing their brain training, for Laura, it's the end of the road.
I know where I went wrong now. It was on the last question. I think I didn't get this right in the challenge because I was so panicked and flustered because I knew that time was running out.
With 6 levels to go, it's Aihem, Duncan, Lucy, Shauna, Kirie, Luke and Sarah who received the first of their coloured brain belts.
I feel really pleased that I came first. So, some people are going to think I'm going to win then.
It was really scary because me and Laura had to go for the orange brain. I got it wrong and then she got it wrong, but luckily I got it right the last time. I'm so glad I got through to the next round. I think the yellow clashes with the white.
I didn't do as well as some other people in the last round, but I think that might have been nerves. So now I've just got those nerves out of the way. I think I'm going to win that black belt.
Brain-Jitsu!
In this next level of training, things are going to get really hard.
Level 2, orange belt.
We do things every day without even thinking about it, like kicking a football. But you try kicking it with the foot, whoa, you don't normally use. Not easy, is it?
If you manage to do that, you're using part of your brain that deals with problem solving, the frontal lobes. And that's what level 2 is all about. Taking something you normally do without thinking and doing it differently. Work it. To prepare them for using their frontal lobes in the next challenge, my Brainees are going to need some training.
Room of mental nourishment.
This is the room of mental nourishment where our young hopefuls will train their brains between every task. The more seriously they take their training, the better prepared they'll be for the challenges that lie ahead. And in level 2, that challenge is all about getting their brains to think in a new way.
Brain training. Take turns to call out the action on your cards. Everyone must do it only when you say, Sensei says, for the action.
So, our Brainees are going to be made to think about something like following simple instructions that they'd normally do without thinking.
Sensei says, look happy.
Sensei says, touch right ear.
Sensei says, shut left eye.
Look sad.
There's no fooling Duncan.
Sensei says, touch mouth with right hand.
Sensei says, step backwards.
Bit by bit, our Brainees get into the groove, really working those frontal lobes.
Sensei says, pass me your biscuit.
Pass me a biscuit? Are you sure, Sarah?
Rub stomach clockwise.
Oh, you too, Jan!
You're out!
Hey, time for a training tip.
Tip. Don't rush. Pause for 2 seconds. Think before you react.
Ace advice. You see, spending a moment to think before rushing in really can improve your all-round focus.
Sensei says, stand up and jump up and down.
So, if you want to work your frontal lobes at home, why not try this exercise with your mates?
Everyone take a crisp.
How do our Brainees think their training has gone?
I think it is quite good to think before you act, because then you kind of double check to make sure that you don't actually make a mistake. And that was the way you win.
I decided that since I like chocolate biscuits and I had the power, I thought I'd make everyone give me a chocolate biscuit, and I didn't realise, but this juice is really nice.
Watch out, you guys. I'm going to win this, and you know it.
Whatever, Duncan. Tell him, Shauna.
So, will all those chocolate biscuits help or hinder Sarah? Will Kirie remember to think before she acts? And will confident Duncan do as well as he expects? It's time to find out, as our 7 now put their frontal lobe training to the test. Guardian of the dojo and task adjudicator the Shihan will now demonstrate the level 2 challenge.
Big ball color match.
Each Brainee must pick 2 balls by calling out pair of coordinates from grid. For example, B2 and D3. Aim is to find 2 balls of same color, matching not word on each ball, but color that word is written in. So, in this case, they will have to remember that this ball was red and this one blue. If Brainees uncover match, they will progress to next level. Last Brainee to find pair will be eliminated.
My Brainee tip for this task is to focus the mind on just one letter and not the whole word.
What's important here is not the word, but the colour that it's written in. Here are those colours now. Three, two, one, it's go on the gong.
A1.
Remember, our Brainees must ignore the word and focus only on the colour it's written in.
B4.
Which means Aihem's now looking for another green ball. Instead, he finds a blue. Will he remember for the next time?
B2. C3.
No joy for Duncan.
D1. A1.
While Lucy has already forgotten that Aihem only just picked A1 and that it definitely wasn't pink.
A1.
There's that green again.
B3.
Bad luck, Shauna, but hey, stick it in the old memory bank.
D4. B3.
Great balls of focus. Kirie finds the first pair. It's now Luke's turn. Will he remember his training and get his brain focusing just on those colours?
A1. B2.
Not this time.
D1. A4.
And Sarah fares no better. It's back to Aihem.
A2.
Who once again is searching for a green ball.
A1.
And this time he nails it, remembering that green ball from his first turn. And there are no problems either this time for confident Duncan or Shauna, who also go through. Leaving Lucy, Luke and Sarah to fight for the last two remaining orange belts. First to go is Lucy. Here are the colours left.
B1. C3.
And another pair means that the pressure's now on Luke to follow suit.
D2. B4.
But yet again, Luke can't get his head round this back-to-front thinking, leaving the door wide open for Sarah.
D3. D1.
Who needs no second invitation. While Sarah can continue her journey towards mental mastery, for Luke, it's time to say sayonara and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think the training before this round helped quite a lot because it made me think before I chose things. But unfortunately, I didn't get through.
So, with 5 levels left, it's Aihem, Duncan, Lucy, Shauna, Kirie and Sarah who get orange brain belts.
I'm really relieved that I came first because I really thought I'd go last.
I still really want to win, but I think Shauna and Kirie may be competition for me.
But I can't believe I nearly got out. I mustn't do it anymore. Got to stay in.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? It's the 1870s, and a geezer called Alexander Graham Bell goes and invents the old dog and bone, or telephone, so you and I can gossip, gas and natter to people all over the world. Telephone-tastic. Hello? Mum, I'm on the telly. I'll call you back. Where was I? Oh yeah, phones. Off to Finland. Every year, a load of Finns and folk from all over the world take part in the Mobile Phone Throwing World Championships. Why? Well, to see how far they can throw them, of course. Right, got to ring the old dear back. Brainy Alexander Graham Bell. Not so brainy, phone flingers in Finland.
Brain-Jitsu.
Competition in Brain-Jitsu Dojo hotting up, and only 6 Brainees remain to battle it out under watchful eye of Aihem. Aihem, first to enter dojo.
I feel really pleased that I came first.
Sarah.
I'm so glad I got through to the next round. I think the yellow clashes with the white.
Kirie, winner of last level.
I'm quite excited about doing this, actually.
Shauna. Confident Duncan.
Watch out, you guys. I'm gonna win this, and you know it.
And Lucy. Challenge is about to get even tougher. Only 2 Brainees will make it to final test. Table of Supreme Focus, where must move ball with power of mind for chance to win Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. Here's time for level 3. Result!
Now, we all like to chat, but did you know that using words to communicate is one of the main reasons why our brains have grown so incredibly powerful? And that having a conversation exercises both halves of the brain. Now, if all that's doing your head in, allow me to explain. Think of it like air traffic control. While a pilot has to focus on landing just one plane, an air traffic controller is responsible for landing all sorts of planes. It's the same with the brain. There's the left half, which deals with the details, and there's the right half, which looks at the overall picture. This next level of training strengthens my Brainees' focus by working one half of their brain under pressure. Hey, pump it up!
The room of mental nourishment.
It's our Brainees' second visit to the room of mental nourishment, where once again they'll train their brains in preparation for the next challenge, which, remember, is all about using the 2 halves of the brain to communicate.
Brain training. Direct the blindfolded brainee to stack the blocks using only one hand. What do we have to do?
What have we got to build anyway?
What are we going to build? Let's build me. I'm fabulous.
I'm sure you are, Sarah, but building a statue to yourself?
So, let's build a brain. A very misshaped brain.
The girls get cracking. Shauna using the right side of her brain to give instructions to her partner, and Sarah using the left side of her brain to interpret them.
And then put the other one down behind them. Other way behind them.
Mind you, Sarah seems more focused on helping herself to those tempting refreshments.
Okay, so you got them there, yeah? Okay. Quit eating. Hurry up and do this, alright? Back. No. Come on.
Okay, move your hand directly forward.
No one can question Aihem's focus, though.
Now push the blocks on the right, bottom right.
On my left?
Yeah, move the blocks A.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the small blocks are block B then.
Okay.
Now move your
But while he's certainly giving Duncan a lot of detail, he's labelling each box, taking things just a bit too far.
Just put it.
You see, what our guiders must do is focus only on getting across the essential information their partners need.
No, left, your right, I mean.
My right, yeah.
What also helps is knowing your left from your right.
I think Aihem was quite good at it. I think we worked quite well together, which was good. A lot of the time you said left, and I thought you meant right, or I thought you meant left, and it was quite confusing as well.
Getting the task done was pretty difficult, because I really don't think we should have had these here, because she was constantly reaching out, grabbing crisps, eating biscuits, having a drink. So whenever I said put your hand out, she always just instinctively grabbed her drink rather than the block I was trying to get her to pick up.
Well, I was hungry and I was thirsty, and you can't work without being completely thirsted up and non-hungry.
Is that even a word?
Will Aihem get his direction finder back on track? And can Sarah forget about food long enough to focus on the coming task? Time to find out as they now put their training to the test for those 5 green brain belts.
Balloon pop, number drop.
This is test of communication skill. So, 6 Brainees must first divide into teams of 2 by drawing chopsticks. Quickly as possible, teams must burst 6 balloons containing number which go together to form sum. Pairs need to decide who is Guider, who is Popper. With Popper unable to see under helmet, they will be relying on Guider to help them burst balloon. When all balloon popped, Brainees stop clock by shouting Brain-Jitsu. Quicker they burst balloon, more time have to pick up number and make sum. Once Brainy are happy with answer, hit gong. First 2 team to work out correct answer get green belts and advance to next level. 1 Brainy from losing team will be eliminated.
The key to success here is for the guider to use the right side of their brain to follow their teammates' progress and give them clear instructions. For their partner, it's vital they use the left side of their brain to focus on these instructions and nothing else.
Okay, forward. Forward, stop.
First to put their communication training to the test are Lucy and Duncan. Confident as ever, Duncan takes control, using the right side of his brain to guide Lucy from one balloon to the next.
Jump. To the left. And stop and pop. Forward. Forward. Stop and pop. Okay, forward a tiny weenie into bit and pop. Back a tiny bit.
But the two run into a spot of bother.
And try again.
No matter what he says, Duncan just can't get the balloon to line up with the pin on Lucy's helmet.
And pop.
And it's costing them valuable time.
Pop. It's Brain-Jitsu.
At last they finish the job in a time of 1 minute 48 seconds.
Forward. Right. Pop.
It's now Kirie and Aihem's turn. After some criticism of his guiding during training, Aihem's now switched roles.
Pop.
And it seems to be working. Both Brainees working one half of their brain each to great effect.
Forward. Left. Pop. Forward. Pop. Left. Pop. Brain-Jitsu!
With Aihem jumping higher than a samurai on stilts, the two burst their last balloon in a pop-tastic 1 minute 4 seconds. Last to pop are Sarah and Shauna, but incredibly Shauna hasn't noticed the she-hand start signal. Wakey wakey, Shauna!
Big step forward. Okay, back a bit. Jump, pop.
Once going, it's a pretty good display of communication.
To the left, big step. To the left just a tiny bit. Back just a tiny bit. To the right just a bit. Pop.
Although simply using the word bit to help Sarah find her target isn't that helpful.
Pop. Brain-Jitsu.
The two stop their clock in 1 minute 47 seconds, just ahead of Lucy and Duncan, but behind Kirie and Aihem, who set off first to find their numbers. Here's what our Brainees are looking for. See if you can work out the sum. Remember, the first 2 teams to work it out will go through to the next level. That's the final gong, but do the numbers add up? 16 plus 5 minus 3 equals 18. That looks good to me. And the she-hand agrees. In fact, all 3 teams have found the correct solution. But as the last to finish, it's Lucy and Duncan who'll be battling it out to avoid elimination in the...
Stare off.
With just 1 green belt up for grabs, both Brainees must use all their powers of focus to fight the urge to blink. The first to falter will be eliminated. It's Duncan who can fight the urge no longer. While Lucy's staring skills have brought her a step closer to that elusive black belt, the only thing confident Duncan is now staring at is elimination.
Walk of eternal regret.
I'm feeling quite bad. I think maybe I could have got further. I'm not very good at stopping blinking, but oh well. I had a really fun time, so yeah.
So with 4 levels to go, it's Aihem, Lucy, Shauna, Kirie and Sarah, who line up for their green belts.
It went really well, and so I'm like so happy that me and Sarah won.
I finally came first. I'm really happy, but I probably couldn't have done it without Shauna.
I'm really happy that I got this far, and I really want to win the black belt.
Brain-Jitsu!
Level 4. Blue belt!
This fourth level requires our Brainees to master a primitive part of the brain called the amygdala, the area that responds to threat. Remember the last time you felt afraid or panicky? Maybe you were just about to sit an exam. Well, that feeling was triggered by the old amygdala. Now, stress can make you lose focus. Fact. Which is why my Brainees must train to keep their emotions under control.
The room of mental nourishment.
Back in the room of mental nourishment, it's time for our 5 Brainees to train in how to overcome fear and stay focused.
Brain training. Form a circle, pass the disgusting drink around the circle, only passing it on when you have said a different word ending in the letter D. After 1 minute, the Brainee holding the drink has to drink it.
So, our Brainees must block out the cheesy Stilton juice and concentrate only on coming up with a new word.
Shall I start? Just like that. Word.
Fed.
Dad. Glad. Died.
It's a good start, but as the clock ticks down, a bit of hesitation creeps in.
Head.
Did. Sad. Cried.
While that looks suspiciously like panic.
Head. No.
Oh, we've already said that. I said that.
Said.
Okay.
That ends in a D.
Red.
The minute's up, and it's Shauna who's left holding the drink of stink.
Don't look.
That's it, Shauna, down the arch. Time for a tip.
Tip. Concentrate. Try to blank out the time and fear of the drink to avoid panicking.
Next time you're feeling the pressure, say you're in the middle of a test. Try not to worry about the time. The chances are you'll stay much more focused.
Dod.
Is that such a word?
That is not.
Yeah, that's not a word.
That's right, Sarah. You keep him honest.
Fine, I'll say something else. Todd.
Todd?
Are you allowed to use names?
If it's a word and it ends in a D.
It's a word, not a name.
A name is a word.
It's different. Honestly, it's different.
No, do it again.
Outvoted by the girls, Aihem racks his brain to think of another word, but his mind's gone blank. Has his amygdala finally got the upper hand, I wonder? Oh dear, hard luck, Aihem.
Pass me the biscuits.
And a biscuit.
And the Coke.
It's okay, it's okay.
No, you'll need it after, I swear.
Hang on, what?
What does it taste like?
Cheese.
During that game, everyone thought I was hesitating on purpose, but actually, when I panic, my brain goes all scrambled.
Well, it is a bit unfair since I'm the only boy and I'm representing the boy, and since a name is a word, so it should count.
I didn't find the tip that useful because the drink has been passed around and you're constantly looking at it and thinking about it, so you can't really stop thinking about it.
So, will Sarah unscramble her brain in time for the next task? And will last boy left Aihem be able to hold his own against the girls? It's time to find out as our 5 put their brain training to the test in a fear-filled challenge that will decide who gets their blue brain belt.
Creepy crawly word grab.
This level, real test of mind over matter for Brainees, and will push them to really overcome their fear. Underneath the creepy crawlies lie an assortment of letters worth different points. Brainees have just 1 minute to plunge hands into tank and pick out up to 7 letters each. They then have a further minute to make higher scoring word they can.
To do well, my Brainees must block out the signals coming from their amygdala and ignore the creepy crawlies. The quicker they combat their fear, the more time they'll have to pick out the high-scoring letters. Underneath this pile of worms are an extra 5 golden letters. If our Brainees manage to use one in their word, they'll double their score. Our Brainees dive straight in, ignoring the signals coming from their amygdalas to get those letters. But Lucy doesn't look too happy. Are those worms affecting her focus? Shauna, on the other hand, looks as cool as you like. Aihem also appears to have remembered his training. The minute's up. Our Brainees now have a further minute to make the highest scoring word they can from their letters. Aihem's got himself a bunch of letters, but they're all low scoring. He'll have to work hard to make a decent word. No such problem for cool, calm Shauna. See if you can make a word from the anagram on the screen now. There's the second gong. How have our Brainees done?
Toss.
With only those low-scoring letters to work with, that's just 4 points for Aihem.
Bin.
That's 6 points for Lucy.
Code.
A useful 7 points for cool, calm Shauna.
Poor.
A far from poor 8 points for Kirie.
Grip.
And another 8 points for Sarah. All of which means that it's Aihem who must hand over his brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think it went wrong because I only got 2 vowels and 4 consonants and all my letters were only 1 point. I feel a bit gutted that I've got out this far, but at least I was the best of the boys, so that's okay.
So, with only 3 levels left, those who use their minds to master the worms are rewarded with blue belts.
The bugs were really horrible and slimy, and it was quite hard because the soil kept covering the letters, but luckily I got enough to make a word.
But I was quite surprised it was worms because I thought it'd be a little bit more disgusting. I'm all right with worms.
I'm really, really glad that I got through because it's quite hard to tell if you've got through or not because you can't see anyone else's words.
Brain-Jitsu. Brainy, not so brainy.
Who's the clever clogs and whose brain needs a lot more training? Emails, internet, brain training, computer games, none of which would be possible without John Vincent Atanasoff, who invented the first ever electronic digital computer back in 1937. www.computerboffintastic.com. Now, back in 1988, another electronic boffin called Robert Morris created the first computer virus and had the bright idea of releasing it onto the internet as a harmless experiment. Problem was, his little virus quickly grew out of control, causing millions of computers to crash worldwide and costing the US government alone over $10 million. Now that is what I call a bad day at the office. Brainy John Atanasoff. Not so brainy Robert Morris.
Brain-Jitsu.
Tension in Brain-Jitsu dojo mounting. Now just 4 young hopeful remain to compete under watchful eye of Aihem. Kirie.
I'm quite excited about doing this actually.
Lucy, lucky to get past Creepy Crawly.
The bugs were really horrible and slimy, and it was quite hard.
Cool, calm Shauna.
It went really well, and so I'm so happy.
And Sarah, stronger with each level.
I finally came first, I'm really happy.
Only 2 Brainy will make final showdown. Table of supreme focus. Where must move ball with power of mind. Brain-Jitsu black brain belt is within their grasp. It's time for Level 5, Red Vault!
Now, if you're learning to climb trees like Tarzan, then you might be interested to know that your new hobby is doing wonders for the old grey matter. Exercising both the thinking part of the brain, the cerebrum, and the doing part, the cerebellum. You see, doing new things increases the flow of blood into your head, which keeps your brain cells topped up with the oxygen they need to perform at their best. So, in Level 5, my Brainees are going to be challenged to learn new skills. Now, you can speed up how quickly the brain takes in new stuff. And this is what our Brainees are going to train for now.
The room of mental nourishment.
It's our Brainees' 4th visit to the room of mental nourishment, where they'll be training their brains in how to learn new skills.
Okay, our next brain training task is to spin the drumstick between your fingers for as long as possible. I guess that's what those are for then.
Can anyone actually spin the stick around?
I probably could.
Yeah, look.
Okay.
Let's all grab one.
One hand, Sarah, please.
I'm going to start there, actually. No.
Yeah, I've got the hang of it, sort of.
Pretty soon, our Brainees are spinning faster than a ninja doing backflips. And then Sarah has a brainwave.
Let's have a competition. Whoever can do it for the longest can have a cookie.
3, 2, 1, go!
Fingers getting stuck.
Drop it there. Oh, this might go on for...
Oh dear, looks like that chalky biscuit will have to wait. Never mind, here's a yummy training tip instead.
Tip. Approach this positively. Laugh out loud for 30 seconds.
With some help from the laughter tip, our Brainees get into the spirit. The next time you face a tough mental challenge, try laughing. It might sound strange, but a fit of the giggles can help with confidence, as well as increasing your heart rate, sending extra oxygen into the brain, helping it to perform at its best.
Well, basically, I think that it helps to be happy in life, because then you make the best out of a bad situation.
Yeah, I think it was a really good tip, because I think as long as you're kind of happy, then what you're doing doesn't really seem so odd and unusual and weird.
Will Laughing Lucy be laughing all the way towards the red belt? Can Kirie keep confident? And will cool, calm Shauna be quite so happy when the pressure's on? Only time will tell, as our 4 now put their new skills training to the test and compete for their red brain belts.
Crazy brain buzzwire.
To win red belt, Brainee must guide hoop on helmet from one end of wire to other. Is race against clock, but Brainee must take care. If they touch wire, not only do they collect 5-second penalty, they also receive brain buzz from vibrating helmet. Most funny. Brainee with slowest time will be eliminated.
The tip for my Brainees in this next task is to remain calm and think positive thoughts. Giving in to frustration will only lessen their focus and slow them up. So, will our Brainees remember their training and stay positive, or will they let the pressure get to them? First to go is Laughing Lucy. A bit of contact there, but it's a good start. Lucy's clearly remembered her training, ignoring the vibrating helmet and staying positive. Next is cool, calm Shauna. How will she cope with this new skill? Like Lucy, Shauna also gets off to a good start, both smooth and steady. But then her concentration slips and the penalty points start to rack up. Next it's Kirie, who immediately starts to get into all sorts of trouble, making more contact with that wire than a pair of grappling sumos. You can see the frustration on her face as she struggles to get the thinking part and the doing part of her brain to work together. Last up is Sarah, who sets off like a rocket-powered rickshaw, clearly enjoying the challenge. Unlike the others, Sarah has stayed on her feet. But she's now starting to tire. which of our Brainees has found this a brain challenge too far? Despite finishing in 1 minute 5 seconds, Lucy picked up 8 penalties, giving her a total time of 1 minute 45 seconds. With 12 penalties, Shauna's total time was 2 minutes 20. With a whopping 33 penalties, Kirie's total time was 5 minutes 22 seconds. While Sarah picked up just 6 penalties, giving her a total time of 1 minute 8. Which means that it's Kirie who must hand over her brain belt and leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
It's hard enough just doing it with the normal steady hand game, but with your head as well. When it buzzes, it affects you a lot more, and you kind of jump and then it buzzes again. As soon as you buzz it once, it just kind of sets off a chain reaction and it doesn't really go well.
So with 2 levels to go, that now leaves Lucy, Shauna and Sarah to stand tall in red.
I am so pleased to be through, because really all I want to do is get to that black belt.
I'm feeling really competitive, but I think Sarah's a bit of competition. She's really good.
I'm so close. It's really, really scary that I'm so close now. Really excited.
Brain-Jitsu.
Level 6, roll boat!
In level 6, my Brainees will draw on all they've learnt so far in their toughest test of focus yet. That's because it's this level which will decide which 2 of my remaining Brainees will go on to battle it out
For the black belt.
Now, imagine you're performing a magic trick. You've got all the secret little moves to remember, and there's an audience watching you. It's remembering stuff like this under pressure that level 6 is all about. It centres around 3 areas of the brain. The seeing part, the occipital lobes, the memory part, the temporal lobes, and the movement part, the cerebellum. To the max.
Room of mental nourishment.
Our Brainees are back in the room of mental nourishment. This time for some memory training.
Brain training. Memorise the sequence of objects.
I wonder what these will look like on me.
God.
No comment.
Right, think of it this way. The roast chicken got eaten by the mouse, who then had the banana, and then was attacked by the rubber chicken. Who stuck it?
To give her temporal lobes a helping hand, Sarah had the idea of linking the objects with a story.
Roast chicken, rat,
No, it's
banana,
Rubber chicken.
eyeball tower.
Eyeball tower. Oh, that's clever.
Eyeball tower.
Laughing Lucy, however, has gone for a simple list.
Toilet.
I will go first. Okay. Roast chicken, rat, banana, rubber chicken, eyeball tower, toilet frog.
She missed out 3 items.
Not bad, but I wonder if cool, calm Shauna can do any better.
There was a roast chicken and a mouse, which ate some bananas and got attacked by a rubber chicken.
Stop copying
It
me.
left his eyeball.
Like Sarah, Shauna's using the story method, and it's clearly working.
Got attacked by a scary arm, and all the frogs the French were eating were flushed down the toilet. They rang the bell for service and found out that everyone was ducks. They threw eggs at gnomes, cut the gnomes in half with scissors, and then found out they were all red cabbages in disguise.
Oh, you did it!
She certainly did.
Everyone deserves a cookie.
Try using the same technique to train your brain. Maybe make up a story linking all the streets in your area and see if you can remember them all.
I'm not that worried about the task because I'm actually really good at memory.
Making mistakes will help me, but like, I can't remember stuff that easily.
It's alright, you'll get used to it.
So, will cool, calm Shauna prove to be a master of memory? And will Laughing Lucy's lack of confidence be a downfall? It's time to find out as our 3 red belt holders put their training to the test.
Super Memory Dizzy Dash.
Each Brainee is spin round on dizzy wheel, total of 10 times. Task is to use all power of focus to memorize 5 images in front of them. Then race against clock to cross-balancing beam and collect same 5 images from 10 hanging above them. 10 must arrange pictures in descending order based on number of legs on each image. When Brainee happy with selection, hit gong to stop clock.
My tip for the Brainees is to keep focused on the main objective and use their training to link the 5 images together. Our final 3 brave the wheel to compete for their brown brain belt and the chance of a place at the table of supreme focus. It's time to spin. Will their memory training help our Brainees to remember the images and ignore the effects of being spun round like termites in a tumble dryer? First to head off is Laughing Lucy, looking just a little unsteady. Here are the 5 images she's looking for. Don't forget, our Brainees must fight the dizziness and arrange the 5 images in order of the number of legs on each. For every one they get wrong, it's a 5-second penalty. The Brainee with the slowest time will be eliminated from the dojo. Here's the right order again. Ooh, don't recognise him. And that looks like 4 out of 5 for Lucy. Next to step off the dizzy wheel is cool, calm Shauna. So good during training. Again, here's what she's looking for. That's 5 images. Now, all Shauna has to do is get them in the right order. Top marks for Shauna. Last but not least is Sarah. Looking down those images in no time. This is one Brainee in a serious hurry. Phew! That looks like 5 out of 5 as well. So, who will be going through? With 1 penalty, Laughing Lucy finished in 1 minute 17 seconds. With no penalties, cool, calm Shauna finished in 56 seconds. While Sarah, also with no penalties, finished in a turbocharged 43 seconds. Which means that Sarah and Shauna are still in and Laughing Lucy is out.
Walk of eternal regret.
The spinning made me feel really dizzy and that caused me to get the penalty, and that was the most hardest thing. I'm feeling really gutted that I'm out, and I thought I'd get into the final 2, but I didn't.
So, with 1 level to go, that leaves just cool, calm Shauna and Sarah to don their brown brain belts and prepare for the final showdown.
I can't even describe how happy I am. I never thought I'd get this far.
Now that I have the chance to get the black belt, I'm going to try so hard to win. And I have a feeling that I might just do it.
Brain-Jitsu!
8 young hopeful arrived at Brain Training Dojo to fight for Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt. As training got tougher, Brainee fell by wayside. Some lack focus. Others mental control. One by one, most have been eliminated. Now, just 2 remain. Cool, calm Shauna, miss consistency.
I am so pleased to be through, because really all I want to do is get to that black belt.
And Sarah, winner of last 2 level.
I'm so glad I got through to the next round. I think the yellow crashes with the white.
But who will use brain training to the max to win this last challenge? Level 7, Black Belt!
So, this is it. Between my 2 remaining Brainees and the black belt stands Brain-Jitsu's ultimate challenge, a mental duel that is head to head in every sense. The battlefield? A table, but not just any table. For this, my friends, is the table of supreme focus, where our two Brainees will attempt to move a ball across the table using only the power of their mind. By getting this far, they've already demonstrated mental control under many different types of pressure. But now they must learn to focus their minds by entering a state of total calm. To prepare them, my two finalists will need to get into the zone.
Room of mental nourishment.
In this, their final visit to the room of mental nourishment, our last two Brainees are about to train in how to stay focused, no matter what's happening around them.
Mentally prepare yourself for the final task. Don't let the sounds put you off.
Not in the least put off by the sound, known to turn hardened ninjas into nervous wrecks, our two Brainees enter the zone. Great work, Brainees. I'm not sure these two need a tip, but here's one anyway.
We've got a tip. Repeat 3 positive statements to yourself.
Oh, I love this game. Oh, I'm a strong, confident young girl. I will win the next task.
I'm confident, young and beautiful. I'm confident, young and beautiful.
While the girls may not quite have grasped the idea of talking to themselves, you can't fault their confidence.
I am strong, young and confident. I will win the next task.
I am young, strong and confident. I will win the next task.
So how mentally prepared are you then?
I'm so mentally prepared, I don't need any preparation. I'm not scared of you.
You should be.
With nothing to choose between them and both supremely confident, which of our two Brainees is going to come out on top? Hey, let's find out.
Table of supreme focus.
Rules are simple. Each Brainee must push ball to the opponent's end of table using only power of mind. Sensors in Brainees' headbands measure brainwaves. This is converted into electrical signal, which moves ball. More focused mind, stronger signal, and faster ball will travel. See how Brainees are doing on this readout. 2 lines represent each player's brainwaves. Lower the line, more concentrated their mind.
To make sure this is the test of all tests, our Brainees must win the best of 3 rounds. So, this is the big one. Our two finalists must use all their brain training to enter their zone of absolute focus. This is the reason they came to the dojo. This is the moment they've been training for. It's Sarah who's first to get the ball moving. Her lower black line showing she's focusing well. Cool, calm Shauna's refusing to back down and starts to push the ball away. But Sarah digs deep and this time manages to push the ball all the way to her opponent's end. Ho-ho! 1-0 to Sarah. Round 2. This time it's Shauna who's off to the better start. Her green line now the lower of the 2. And even though Sarah's using her breathing to help her focus, it's not having much effect. Shauna's just too strong for her. 1-1. It's all down to this, the final round. Who will cope best with the brain strain? We're off, and it's Shauna who's just got the edge. But within centimetres of victory, Sarah stops the ball in its tracks. Back comes Shauna. And with the finishing line again in sight, Sarah holds her off. But little by little, Shauna piles on the pressure, and it's third time lucky. it's all over. After an epic battle of concentration, it's Shauna whose training has paid off. Finding new depths of focus when it really mattered, she truly has proved herself to be a master of the mind and worthy winner of the Brain-Jitsu Black Brain Belt.
Winning the belt just makes me feel so excited. I must say I'm still a bit relaxed, so it's not quite sunk in yet.
But glory for one brings disappointment for another, and although she fought valiantly, Sarah must now leave the dojo.
Walk of eternal regret.
I think Shauna had the upper hand because she's a lot more calmer than me in real life, and I was a little bit hyped up before I went in, so that might have struck down my chances a bit. I still think I could have done better. I want a rematch.
What an amazing performance from cool, calm Shauna. Trailing 1-0 on the table of supreme focus, this plucky Brainee refused to give up. And when the pressure was really on, it was Shauna who was able to call on all her training and grab that black brain belt.
Yeah! What I've learnt from this whole process is to constantly keep your brain in gear. Don't just tune out. Constantly be thinking of stuff. Always practice and always give it your all whenever you're faced with a challenge like this.
Our journey has come to an end. Another Brainee has proven themselves worthy to wear the Brain-Jitsu Black Belt. But while Brain-Jitsu might represent the most extreme form of brain training, its philosophy can be shared by all. Each and every one of you has it in your power to grow your mind. All it takes is dedication and practice. This has been